do and does and ing. All right, the difference.
Okay.
So what do you know about this? I mean, what's the difference between using do and does and using ing and am, is, and are? I mean, what's the difference between I'm working here and I work here, for example?
Okay. ing is for something that is happening like right now,
Okay.
or like maybe start like a few moments before, but it's still happening.
Exactly. All right. Okay. And when do you use do and does?
Do and does. Do is for I, we,
Mhm.
um, they,
Okay.
and you, right?
Okay. Mhm.
And those is for he, she, and it.
Right. Uh-huh. Okay. And in which situations are you going to use do and does? In which situations?
For present. Yes.
Present. All right. But for example, if you say I'm working here or we're having a class, that's also present, right? We're having
Yes. Let
a class.
me think. An example. I I do work. I don't know, for activities, that things that you perform.
Uh-huh. Okay. So yeah, it's like ordinary actions, right?
Yes,
Things
exactly.
that you do all day, every day. I mean, I work here. I pick up my children at 5. I usually eat at 7. So ordinary actions, actions that you do every single day, right?
Yes,
Which
you're
are
right.
normal. Okay, so we're going to try to work with this. So can you see my screen now? Yep.
Yes.
Okay, so in this case, what we have to do is to choose between do and does and the progressive form according to what the sentence is trying to communicate, right? So in this case, for example, cuckoos, okay, nest, what is a nest? Do you know the meaning of nest?
Yes, is where they put the eggs, or
Exactly,
where they live.
exactly. Okay, so what would you put here? I mean, you need to choose between do and does or don't and doesn't, or the ing form and the auxiliary verbs am, is, and are. So you have not built for the first line and you have use for the second line. Okay, so how would you complete this sentence using these two verbs?
Mm, I don't know exactly what is focus.
Because it's a kind of bird. It's a kind of bird.
Okay. So cuckoos do nest.
Cuckoos do nests. Okay. Well, let's see. And then, but you have build, right? So you have to use the verb not build. So the answer is right here, not build, but you need to use not build in the correct form.
Okay, sorry. So cuckoos don't build nest.
On build nests. Okay. Then you have the verb use.
They use the nest of other birds.
Exactly. Mhm. So
Okay.
they, exactly. Yeah. So you have these two options, right? You have two options. So, for example, uh, let's say that instead of use, you have they are using. They are using. Is that correct or not?
No.
No. Okay. I mean, bueno, voy a explicar esto en español. Mira, si tú dijeras ahí, they are using the nest of other birds, no es que esté incorrecto, pero lo que estás diciendo es que, bueno, los cucús no construyen nidos, están usando los nidos de otras aves. Quiere decir que es una acción que empezaron a hacer hace poco. Ujú.
Mm-hmm.
Están usando, es inusual, vaya, ¿no? Es inusual, es algo que apenas están empezando a hacer. Entonces, tú lo dijiste muy bien, AMICR más ING es para acciones que hace poco empezaste a hacer y que normalmente no haces, ¿no? Entonces, okay. Entonces, they use the nest of other birds. Okay, so how would you complete number 2?
You can't see Tom now. He is having a bath.
He's having a bath. Exactly. Okay, and number 3.
He usually drinks coffee, but today he is drinking tea.
Exactly. All right. And number 4.
What does she normally do in the evenings?
Exactly. All right. And number 5.
She usually plays cards or watches TV.
Watches TV.
Watches. Okay.
Watches.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right. And number 6.
I won't go out now as it is it raining and I don't have an umbrella.
Exactly. All right. And number 7.
He usually speaks so quickly that I cannot understand him.
All right. Okay. Perfect. Yeah. Number 8.
English means very seldom. Uh, talk on the ground. They prefer to read their newspapers.
Exactly. All right.
What is the meaning of seldom?
I, very seldom, muy rara vez. Seldom means
Um,
rara vez.
okay.
Muy rara vez. Okay, and number 9.
I usually go by train, but this week I'm going by bus. It it takes longer, but it costs less.
Perfect. All right. And then we have a conversation number 10. So Anna's on the telephone and she's asking, no, espera que dice. ¿Te sigue siendo la pantalla? Sí, ¿verdad?
Sí.
Okay. So number 10, how would you complete number 10?
No, el teléfono. Mm, are you doing anything at the moment, Sally?
Exactly.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am packing and catching. I am catching a plane to New York in 3 hours' time.
All right. And
I
what?
will catch.
I will catch. No, you said it right. I'm catching a
Ah,
plane. Mhm.
okay.
So that's something interesting. What's the difference between using will and using MECR and then the ing form, right? So there is a difference. Let's put it here. So whenever you have something like, let's say, I'm buying, uh, I'm buying clothes. I'm buying clothes next week. So when you have a sentence in the ing form, and then you add when next week, you're talking about future.
Okay.
So, for example, if you have this, just like this, significa, estoy comprando ropa, ¿no? Pero si tú le pones esto, o sea, el cuándo, next week, en el momento en el que tú haces eso, se convierte en futuro. I'm buying clothes next week. Y es la manera más usual de hablar de futuro cuando ya le dicen arrange future, ¿no? Es un futuro que ya está dicho. Cuando tú ya sabes cuándo vas a hacer algo, no ocuparías will,
Okay.
sino el ing. Por ejemplo, ¿cómo dirías algo como voy a ver al doctor mañana?
I'm going to see the doctor tomorrow.
Okay, that's one way of saying it. I'm going to see the doctor, and that's fine, but using MECR and ing. That's one way, right?
I'm seeing the doctor tomorrow.
Exactly. I'm seeing the doctor tomorrow. Entonces, ya tienes el cuándo, ¿no? I'm seeing the doctor. So remember, you always have two choices. I mean, two options. The first one is using going to. So whenever you have the date, la fecha, or whenever you know when, you can say, I'm going to see the doctor. I'm going to buy clothes tomorrow.
Okay.
You can say that, or you can say this one, I'm seeing the doctor or I'm buying the clothes. All right.
Okay.
Okay. So, mhm. So in this case, in 3 hours time, she knows when. That's
Okay.
why
Yeah.
I'm catching. Okay. So Maddie what?
Mary is seeing Peter standing at the bus stop.
Maddie sing.
Is seeing.
Maddie sing. Okay. But with that verb see, you cannot use the verb see in the ing form. You cannot use it because if you use see in the ing form, you're talking about a meeting with someone. Like in the previous sentence, I'm seeing
Okay.
the doctor, I'm seeing Tom, me voy a encontrar, o sea, me voy a ver con, ¿no? Entonces, hay ciertos verbos, bueno, de aquí desprendemos esto. Hay ciertos verbos que no se pueden poner en la forma de ing, porque haces una de dos, o simplemente no se puede, o les cambias el significado, como sí. Si tú pones sin, es encontrarse con alguien. Ahora, esto le llaman steady verbs. Es decir, son verbos que por lo general hablan de estados mentales. Por
Okay.
ejemplo, no puedes poner en ing, aunque en español sí puedas decir te estoy amando, no puedes decir en inglés I'm loving you. I mean, that's not correct. Maybe you have heard it in some songs or something, but that's not correct. You cannot use I'm loving you. Instead,
Okay.
you can say I'm getting to love you. For example, you can use the verb get. So verbs like love or hate or seem, right? What does this verb see means? Seem.
Mm, see.
You seem sad. You seem happy.
Okay. I didn't know that.
Okay, so the meaning of seem is
Okay.
parecer, right? So you cannot
Mm.
say you're seeming. Tú estás pareciendo triste.
Okay. Yeah.
You wouldn't say that. Or have is another verb like this. So when have means tener, so you cannot say something like I'm having a house or I'm having a car. Estoy teniendo una casa, estoy teniendo un coche. Entonces cuando have significa tener, no lo puedes poner en ing.
Mm-hmm.
Entonces, bueno, en este caso tendrías que decir Mary sees, right? Mary sees Peter standing at the bus stop. Okay.
Mm. Okay.
So Mary, what does Mary says?
Hello, Peter. What bus are you waiting for?
Exactly. Mhm.
Peter, hello, Mary. I am waiting for 9 to 14.
Exactly. All right. Okay, and number 11.
You usually go to work by bus, don't you?
Mhm.
Yes, but the car belongs to my mother, and she sometimes wants wants it wants it. She uses it today to take Pete to the dentist.
Okay, well, but the car belongs to my mother, that's fine, and sometimes she wants it. Now, eso es lo que está haciendo ella ahorita, lo está usando para llevar al Pete al dentista.
She is using it today.
She's using it today. So, all right. Okay, so number 12.
I usually go by car too. Yeah, Jack take me
Check.
because
Are you sure it's take me? You're missing a
takes
letter. Takes.
takes me because he passes my office on his way to the factory, but this way he's working in a factory in the opposite direction. So I I don't know what is that.
Okay, that word is pronounced Q.
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 Okay.
Q.
I'm Q like you.
Okay. In Q means hacer fila. O sea,
Oh,
hacer
okay.
fila, hacer cola, esperar, ¿no? So
Okay.
I'm here. So she's doing that, right? At that moment. Ah, entonces estoy haciendo fila como tú, estás haciendo cola como tú.
Okay.
Entonces, okay, queuing, you would say, right? I'm queuing just like you.
Doing. Okay.
Queuing. All right. Okay.
Doing.
Queuing.
Okay.
Okay, so it says here.
Peter, here is 9 now. Are you coming on it or are you going? Are you waiting for 14? I I think I will take 39. If I wait for 14, I may be late. And if you what? And if you are late at my office,
Exactly.
everyone looks at you. So
Sí, sí llegas tarde.
um yeah. Manny and Anne waiting outside a telephone box. Inside the box, a boy dials. Dial.
Está ocurriendo en ese instante.
Okay. Inside the box, a boy dialing a number. Is dialing a number.
Okay.
Mary, are you know that boy?
Are you know that boy? Not
Do you
exactly.
know? Do you that boy?
Uh,
Right? Yes.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And yes, he's my friend of my brothers. He he phones his girlfriend every day from that box.
Exactly. Mhm. Okay, okay.
Mary, where where does he come from?
So where does he come from? Exactly. Mhm.
He comes from Japan.
Mhm. All right.
He's a very clever boy. He speaks 4 languages.
Exactly. What is a clever boy?
Intelligent.
Italian. Exactly. It's a clever boy. Okay, and number 16.
I wondered what uh, what he speaks now.
Now. So now means it's happening right now.
What he is speaking now.
Okay, exactly. But something strange happened there. What he's speaking, right? So that's quite important. Whenever you have an S, something like this, an S encounters another S, like in this case, so you wouldn't say he's speak. So you wouldn't pronounce two S, only one, right?
He
So you
speaks.
wouldn't say he's speaking. He's speaking now. I wondered what he's speaking now. He's speaking, right? No, he's speaking, but he's speaking.
Mhm. That is
Entonces,
difficult to do.
sí, de hecho, la regla es esa, mira, o sea, cuando se encuentran dos S, ¿no? Aquí ya viste cómo entre una palabra y otra se encuentran dos S. Cuando eso pasa, haces una sola S, una sola S, que te sirva para las dos palabras.
Okay.
Entonces, okay, he's speaking now.
Let me go for my glasses because I
Okay,
see very good close, but the light of the computer
okay.
hurt my eyes. Let me go.
Don't worry, it's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm better. Sorry.
Okay, it's fine.
It's only for the light. That's what I am like that way.
Don't worry, it's fine. Okay, so I wonder what he's speaking now, and then answers what,
Well, his girlfriend comes from Japan too, so I suppose he's speaking Japanese.
right? Or he's speaking, or he's speaking. He's speaking.
He's speaking. I will try to do it.
Yeah, because you have something like this, for example. Uh, ¿Dónde lo pongo? A ver. Es que no se ve, no puedo. ¿Cómo hago? Hacer anotaciones. Bueno, aquí, mira, vamos a poner aquí abajo. Ahorita en la mañana estaba dando esta clase y mira, decía algo como esto. Ajá. Entonces sonaba a it's still on. Still on. It's still on, right? Suena como otra palabra, como si dijeras still on o algo así. Ajá.
Right.
Entonces, ¿por qué? Porque hay que acostumbrarnos a eso. O sea, siempre aquí otra vez se encuentran dos S, ¿no? Entonces, una S y además dices it's still on. Todavía está
So,
prendido, ¿no? Still on. So he's speaking.
okay.
¿Cómo dirías esto? He's speaking Japanese.
He's speaking Japanese. He's speaking Japanese.
Muy. He's speaking.
I think
Okay.
that it's difficult to do it because you have to say like he is
Mhm.
and then the other word. So
Yeah, but the thing is, if you get used to he is speaking, so when they say, ah, yeah, he's speaking, it's gonna be confusing, right? He's speaking. Y lo que pasa es que también nosotros queremos poner, ¿sabes qué pasa? Mira, ¿por qué también hacen eso? Por ejemplo, si tú dices esto, lo que nosotros hacemos como en español, no hay absolutamente ninguna palabra que empiece con S y después siga una consonante. No hay ninguna, ¿eh? O sea, no hay ninguna palabra en español que tenga S y después una consonante. Todas tienen una vocal, serpiente,
mhm,
de cualquier palabra, ¿no? El asunto es que nosotros nos van a dar ganas de decir esto.
mhm,
Nos van a dar ganas de poner una E ahí y decir speaking. Pero no hay ninguna E ahí. Entonces, para evitar hacer eso, pues nada más, esa también es la regla, ¿cómo decirlo? Si tienes una palabra así como esta, ujú, es decir, que comienza con S y después con consonante, tienes que pegar esa S a lo que esté detrás.
okay.
Por ejemplo, mira, aquí otro ejemplo. Aunque no lo tuvieras con esto, his pairs. Vamos a decir eso, ¿no? Ahora, allí lo que tienes que hacer es lo siguiente, tienes que hacer esto, his pairs.
Mm,
Así ya no te da tiempo de decir he spares, ¿no? Ya no te da tiempo de poner ninguna E ahí, ya nada más dices his pairs. Ya, his pairs. Y his pairs suena distinto a decir he spares, ¿no? Entonces, esa es una regla que siempre acuérdate nada más de eso. Palabras que tengan S y consonante, pegas la S a la palabra que esté detrás. ¿Vale?
okay.
Ok, bueno. Entonces, ajá, I suppose he's speaking Japanese. Ok, entonces, número 17. What do you have in that one?
It is 8:30 and Tom and Ann are having breakfast. They are opening their letters. Tom, no one ever writes to me. All I all I get is our bills. All I get are bills. Do you have anything interesting? And I have a letter from Hugh.
You.
Hugh. He um he's staying. No,
Uh, he says.
he says he is coming to London next week, and he wants us to meet him for lunch.
Perfect. Exactly. Uh-huh. Okay. Number 18.
Mm, what is warders? Warders? Wardens?
Traffic wardens son como agentes de tránsito. Son agentes. Así es. Tránsito.
Um,
Tránsito.
okay. Do you have traffic wardens in your country? Uh, I don't think so. You don't see them in my town anyway. What does exactly a traffic warden do?
Perfect. Mhm. Okay, in 19.
He, Peter, he's walking up and down the street, and if a car stays too long,
Okay, he's walking up and down the street. Es algo que hace normalmente.
yeah, yeah. He walks up and down the street, and if a car stays too long at a parking place or parks in no parking place, he sticks a parking ticket to the windscreen.
Perfect.
Look, he is putting a ticket on Tom's car. Tom will be furious when he sees it. He hates getting parking tickets.
Exactly. All right. Yep. Okay, so number 21.
Okay, customer, I want to buy a fur coat. Have you any nice coats for about 550? It sounds weird that way, the number,
Ha,
but
have you any? Yeah, by the way, this is an informal way of saying it. Have you any nice coats? I mean, the normal way would say, "Do you have any?" Right? Do you have any? But sometimes we got to remember this. Sometimes people do not use the grammar thing, right?
okay,
So if you heard that, I mean, have you any? Oye, ¿tienes algún? But that's an informal way of saying it. Remember, no?
okay,
You wouldn't say that one in a test or something.
okay.
Okay.
Assistant, I am afraid we are closing, madam. It is 4:55, and we always close at 5 o'clock on Fridays because Mr. Jones, the manager, doesn't want to miss the final match.
Perfect. Mhm. Okay. And finally, number 22.
It is Friday evening, and the Brown family are at home. Mr. Brown is listening to a concert on the radio. Mr. Brown is reading a paper. George Brown is doing his homework, and Anne Brown is writing a letter.
Perfect. Exactly. Okay. And finally, number 23.
Mr. Brown's always reads his newspaper in the evenings. Mr. Brown sometimes nights, but she's not. No, she's nighting tonight.
She's not knitting.
She's not knitting tonight.
Just knitting. Knit. Knit, by the way, means tejer.
Yes.
Yeah. So she sometimes. Now, this title right here, it's pronounced Mrs.
Mrs. Okay.
Mrs. Mr. is that one, right? El señor Brown y esa señora Brown. Mrs. Brown
Okay.
and Mr. Brown. Okay, all right. So I see that you get that topic very well. You have no problem with doing does and ing form. Okay, all right. So now, as long as I understand, uh, we are trying to work now with something different. Okay, which is, let me guess. Okay, but before we continue, ¿cómo regreso? No. Okay. So before we continue, Nayeli, do you know the difference between didn't and wasn't and weren't?
Didn't. What? Didn't wasn't.
Didn't, the difference between didn't and wasn't, bueno, was and were.
Um, I think so. Was well didn't and was is for the difference is the time, right? Didn't is for Present and
Didn't, it's for present.
is for present, and wasn't is for past, right?
Not really. No. Didn't, I mean, when you have did and then you have was, it, were, and ing, is the same thing as do and does and ing, but in past.
Okay.
So did is the past version of do and does. It's the same. It's
Yes.
used for the same, but in past, right? Ordinary actions, but in the past. That's did. And was, it, were is the past version of am, is, and are. So, for
Yes, you're
example,
right.
I was working, estaba trabajando, no? I am working, estoy trabajando. So both are for past, but there is something important there. So how would you say something like estábamos tomando clase cuando el maestro, no, estábamos comiendo, estábamos desayunando cuando llegó el maestro.
Um, we were having breakfast when the teacher arrived.
Exactly. The teacher arrived. So that's one way of, let's say, interfere with the progression of was and where. So did can be used to interfere the progress. Entonces, para interferir con el progreso. Ah, estábamos desayunando cuando llegó el maestro. Ese, lo que viene después del cuando es con did, ¿no? So when the teacher came or when the teacher
Mhm.
arrived. Puedes hacer ideas así. Puedes, cuando tú pones when entre una idea con was, y were, e ing y después pones did, lo que estás haciendo es esa clase de ideas, interrumpir la progresión. Ah, so we were having breakfast when the light went off.
Okay.
Estábamos cenando cuando se fue la luz. Ujú.
Yes.
Okay, all right. So
I
let me.
think that I know that, but I don't know how to explain it. I will not be a good teacher.
Okay, now don't worry, it's fine. So, okay, past. So let's see, past simple and past continuous. We're going to use 10 of those, right? Just 10 to see how you perform on those. So let me check, it's right here. Past continuous, and okay, all right. Mm, ujú. Aquí comparte, es para compartir contenido. Ok, entonces simple present continuous, simple past past continuous. Okay, so do you see my screen?
Yes.
All right, so in this case, you need to choose whether to use the verb in simple past, I mean did, or in past continuous, which is was and were, in ing form, right?
Okay.
So let's do the first one as an example. Lit es encender, ¿no? Por eso bien, liter es encendedor. Encendedor, lit. So I lit the fire at 6, and okay, and you have the verb burn brightly when Tom came at 7. When Tom came in at 7. So in this case, how would you put the verb burn? In did or in past continuous?
In simple past.
Okay, so you would say burnt. Are you sure?
Ah, no. It was burning.
It was burning. Exactamente. It was burning brightly when Tom came in at 7. Ahora, ¿qué dijiste ahí en español? ¿Qué dice esta idea en español?
¿Toda completa?
Ah,
Yo prendí el fuego a las 6 y estaba, ay, ¿cómo decirlo? Estaba, no sé cómo decirlo.
estaba burn means arder.
Ok. Estaba ardiendo. Brightly es, ay, Dios. Sé que es como brillar, ¿no?
Ajá, es un adverbio. un adverbio de modo. Y te está diciendo cómo es que está ardiendo el fuego. Brightly es así, brillantemente.
Ajá. Estaba ardiendo brillantemente cuando Tom llegó a las 6, a las 7.
Exactamente. Ahora, ahí tienes esto que decimos. ¿Ya viste cómo está la conexión entre It was burning brightly when Tom came at 7? Ujú. Entonces se llevan muy bien ¿cómo se llama? El past continuous con el simple past para hacer esa clase de ideas. Ah, estaba ardiendo cuando llegó a las 7.
Okay.
All right. So, number 2. Okay, but before we continue, do you know the meaning of all those words here?
Yes.
Okay.
For me, it's difficult to translate. So I understand what I am reading, but I don't know how to to say it in Spanish.
Okay. All right. Okay, but so how would you complete this one then?
Um, when I arrived, the lecture had already started, and the professor was writing on the overhead projector.
Exactly. Was writing. So lecture is lectura.
Mhm.
Mm,
Lecture, yes,
not
like a
exactly.
class.
It's a fault. Exactly. It's a class. Yeah. Lecture doesn't mean lectura. It means class or conference. Lecture also means conference. Ujú. Cuando llega a la conferencia o a la clase, cuando yo llegué, mejor dicho, cuando yo llegué, la conferencia ya había empezado y el maestro estaba escribiendo en el, ¿cómo se llama? En el pizarrón ese virtual, Overhead Projector.
Okay.
Okay, so number 3, you have make.
I was making a cake. When the light went out, I had to finish it in the dark.
Exactly. Mhm. So, what did you say in Spanish in the other one?
Yo estaba haciendo un pastel. Bueno, sí estaba haciendo un pastel cuando la luz se fue y tuve que terminarlo en la oscuridad.
Exactamente. Mhm. Okay, so number 4.
I didn't want to meet Paul, so when he entered the room, I was leaving.
So when he entered the room, I was leaving. Cuando él entró al salón, yo me estaba yendo. Mm, o ¿cómo dirías? Cuando él entró al salón, yo me fui.
Uh, so when he entered the room, I left. I left.
Leave is in present. What's the past version of leave?
Yeah, I left.
It left. Mhm.
I
Right. Okay. So okay, that was the answer there. Okay. So how would you pronounce this word, by the way?
unfortunately,
Unfortunately. All right. Uh-huh. So how would you complete it?
unfortunately, when I arrived and was just left,
And it
was just leaving,
was
was
just
just leaving. So we only had time for a few words.
exactly, was just leaving. Apenas estaba yendo, ¿no? Cuando yo
Mhm.
llegué, Ana apenas estaba yendo. Okay. So number 6. What do you have in number 6?
He was watching TV when the phone rang. Very unwittingly, he turned down the sound, and he went he went to answer it.
Exactly. Mhm. Ahora, very unwillingly. What is very unwillingly?
Como sin conocimiento, sin
Más bien es de
querer.
malas, sin querer hacerlo, así a
Ah,
regañadientes. Very unwilling. Ujú. Entonces,
okay. I didn't know that.
mhm. Uh, that comes from this phrase, which is, if you say, for example, I'm willing to, I'm willing to
Mhm.
go. Estoy dispuesto. Ujú. willing to. Entonces, estoy dispuesto a ir o I'm not willing to. No estoy dispuesto a. Entonces, unwillingly es el, ¿cómo se llama? Sin querer hacerlo. Y normalmente con los adverbios de modo, normalmente van después del verbo. Por ejemplo, podrías decir esto. He gave them the money. He gave them the money unwillingly. Le dio el dinero. Él le dio el dinero a ellos, así no queriendo hacerlo, ¿no? O sea, unwillingly es como no queriendo hacerlo.
Okay.
Entonces, ok. All right. ¿Qué dice? Bueno, okay. So, in this case, what would you say in this case? No. Okay.
He was very polite. Whenever his wife entered the room, he stand up.
Okay. Stand. That's in present. But how do you say stand in past? You can look it up in a dictionary if you want.
I don't remember.
Oh,
Let me see.
okay.
Stood.
Stood. Exactly. So, what did you say in Spanish?
Que él era muy educado. ¿Sí es polite? No, polite es como educado.
Educado o amable también.
Amable.
Polite.
Cada vez que su esposa entraba a un cuarto, él se paraba.
Ok.
De pie.
Él se ponía de pie, ¿no? Se paraba. He stood up. Ok. The admiral means el almirante. Admiral. Okay.
The admiral was playing bowls when he received news of the invasion. He insisted on finishing the game.
Exactly. He insisted on finishing the game. So you have something interesting there, which is insist on. Right? So insistir en es esto. He insisted on finishing the game. Bueno, te digo esto porque hay ciertos verbos como este que ya traen preposiciones pegadas. Insistir en no es insist in or insist at o insist for, nada de eso, sino insist on.
Okay.
Entonces sí vale la pena como anotarlo porque hay verbos que ya traen así como look for, ¿no? Por ejemplo. For ya es una preposición que ya viene pegada a look para decir buscar, ¿no? I'm looking for a friend, I'm looking for a new job. Algo así, ¿no?
Okay.
All right. Okay, so number 8. We are going to do up to, let's say, ok, hasta el número 11, ¿te parece? Vamos hasta el número 11.
Okay. My dog was walking along quietly when Mr. Pickens attacked him.
Exactly. All right, perfect. And number 9.
When I arrived, she was having lunch. She apologized for starting without me, but said that she always lunch at or have lunch. She always have lunch at 12:30.
Exactly. She always had lunch, right? She always had lunch. Ella siempre desayunaba, pero dijo que siempre desayunaba a las 12. So he said she always had lunch at 12:30. Okay, all right.
Okay. Okay. He always wears a raincoat and carries an umbrella when he walks to the office.
Ah, but we're talking in past.
He always wore a raincoat and carried an umbrella when he walked to the office.
Exactly. Mhm, exactly. Okay, and finally, number 12.
What did you think of my last book? I like it very much.
Okay, I liked it very much. Mhm. Okay, exactly. Yep. Ok, bueno, ok, sí lo dominas bien. Yo que ya lo tienes dominado. Pero, mira, vamos a ver algunas cosas vamos a ponerlo aquí, ¿no? Algunas cosas de pronunciación con pasado. Tú ya sabes que cuando dices verbos en pasado, puedes tener dos opciones, los que terminan en ed o los que son
Ujú.
irregulares, ¿no? Ahora, hay tres posibles pronunciaciones para los verbos en ed. Por ejemplo, este de aquí, ¿cómo pronuncias ese?
Walked.
Exactly. Bueno, you don't pronounce the L. You wouldn't say walked.
Okay, walked.
Walked.
It's
Okay,
more
so
easy.
it's easier, yeah. So how would you pronounce this one?
Waited.
Waited. Exactly. And finally, how would you pronounce okay.
Arrived.
All right. Exactly. So the thing is, how do you know when to pronounce these words? It depends on the phoneme you have before de la ed. En este caso, ahora digo sonido, ¿no? El sonido que tienes antes de la ed es una K, ¿no? El sonido de la K. Ahora, ahí se vuelve relevante un tema que es los sonidos que le llaman voiced y voiceless. Uh -huh. Estaría bien que, bueno, intenta ver una lista, lo puedes buscar en internet, voiced sounds, así, voiced sounds y voiceless sounds. No son muchos, pero bueno, eso de voiced quiere decir que los sonidos, o sea, los fonemas que tú pronuncias hacen que vibren tus cuerdas vocales. Y voiceless no vibran, solamente hay aire pasando sin que vibren las cuerdas. Entonces, si tú dices de manera aislada el fonema de la K, por ejemplo, y te tocas aquí la tráquea, te vas a dar cuenta que no usas las cuerdas vocales. Como por ejemplo, un sonido, todas las vocales son voiced. A, E, I, O. Si tú las dices así, te vas a dar cuenta que aquí vibra, ¿no? A, hay una vibración. La K no, solo aire saliendo. Es voiceless. Entonces, siempre que tengas voiceless sounds before the ED, that ED is going to be pronounced as T. That's why you say walked.
Walked. Yeah.
So all depends on the phoneme you have before the ed. So in this case, for example, whenever you have t or d before the ed, in that case, the ed is going to sound like ed, waited, right? That's why you say waited. Se queda, ¿no? Ahora tienes dos posibles pronunciaciones. Puedes decir waited si quieres, con la e, o puedes decir con una i, waited. ¿Sale? Entonces, ¿por qué? Porque siempre que tengas T o D antes de la ED, ahí sí se queda este sonido, ¿no? Lo mantienes así. Ahora, arrived. Aquí, pues es una D. ¿Por qué? Ahora, ya dijimos que cuando tienes voiceless sounds, eso va a sonar a T, ¿no? Pero cuando tienes voiced sounds, entonces va a sonar a D, perdón. Y esta E se elimina. Entonces vas a escuchar esto, arrived. Arrived.
When is what? Voice sound?
Cuando tienes, voiced sounds. Si antes de la ed hay un fonema que es voiced, entonces esa ed va a sonar realmente como a una D.
Ok.
Entonces, ahora, para tener esto en cuenta, hay que saber cuáles son voiced o cuáles son voiceless, ¿no? Y mira, hay una página, let me see if it came. Two Phonetics, this one right here. ¿No estás viendo mi pantalla? Sí, ¿verdad?
Sí.
¿No? Ok. Mira, esta página está muy bonita porque te dice qué sonidos hay. Entonces, si tú no estás muy segura de cómo se pronuncia algo con ed,
Se ve, Rafa, el ejercicio de Word.
se ve el ejercicio de
Hay
Word.
que, hay que dejar de compartir y volver a compartir.
Ok, a ver. Ajá. A ver, comparte las ventanas, ¿dónde está? Aquí. Ya se ve, ¿no?
Ujú.
Sí, vale. Mira, la página se llama twophonetics.com. Esa es la página. Entonces, ¿lo quieres hacer más fácil? Pues nada más vente aquí, ¿no? En esta página y puedes poner dependent. Ok, ¿cómo va a sonar dependent? Le das en Show Transcription y mira, aquí abajito te va a poner los fonemas, es decir, los sonidos que hay en esa palabra. Y ya te diste cuenta cómo esta ed sí suena a ed, precisamente porque está una d ahí. Ujú. Y entonces dirías dependent, ¿no? Ok. Pero si dijeras esto, por ejemplo, bueno, arrived, ¿cómo va a sonar esa ed?
A ver.
Te vas aquí abajito, arrived, con una d, ¿no? Aquí aparece la transcripción.
Ujú.
Lo único que nos importa es esto, o sea, los últimos dos fonemas, que en este caso se junta la b con la d, arrived. ¿Por qué? Porque ya dijimos que la b es un sonido voiced. Ujú. Es voiced, por lo tanto, esa ed suena a d, arrived. Ahora,
Ok.
entonces, mira, esta parte, para saber entonces cuáles son unvoiced y cuáles son voiced, mira, aquí está. No estoy compartiendo. Espera. Entonces, aquí, parte, aquí. Esto. Esto está muy útil, ¿sabes? Son de esos símbolos raros, les dicen fonemas. ¿Para qué rayos es un fonema? Pues es el sonido. Porque se dieron cuenta que en español, una cosa bien chistosa en español es que las letras sí corresponden a los sonidos, ¿no? Es decir, A es A, E es E, O es O, U es U, I es I. Y ya, ¿no? Pero en inglés no tanto. Entonces, tienen este, tienen este sistema, le dicen alfabeto fonético. Simplemente es un alfabeto, pero de los sonidos. En vez de un alfabeto de letras, es un alfabeto de sonidos. Entonces, ahora, ¿qué te dice aquí? ¿Cuáles son unvoiced? O voiceless, que es lo mismo. Pues es la P, la F, la TH. Ujú. Bueno, la T no cuenta porque ya dijimos que esa es otra categoría, ¿no? La T no cuenta. El sonido de la S, el sonido de la SH, que es el de sh. Ujú. Por ejemplo, si tienes palabras como splash, splash, ¿no? Splash termina en SH, splash, y son voiced. Por lo tanto, si tú lo dices en pasado, dirías splashed, splashed. Ujú.
Ok.
La CH también, si tú tienes, por ejemplo, catch termina en CH, ¿no? Catch. Bueno, catch, el pasado es caught, pero si tuvieras una palabra que terminara en CH, en ese sonido de ch, y tuvieras ED, sonaría a T. Y la K también, ¿sale? Y las voice
Ok.
son todas estas, la B, la M, la V. Entonces, mira, anota esta página, se llama phoneticchart.com. A ver si puedo poner control C. Rápido. A ver, te lo pongo ahí en el chat el link. Aquí. Ese es el link, ¿sale? El link para saber cuáles son voiceless y cuáles son voiced. Entonces, pues yo te recomiendo que cuando veas las EDs, o sea, tú lo haces bien, ¿no? Pero bueno, para tener ya como un referente teórico de qué estamos haciendo o de
Ok.
cómo identificarlo, ¿vale? Bueno, entonces, Nayeli, ¿tienes alguna duda con esto?
No.
¿No? Vale. Bueno, but I think that's it for today. So, see you around. Bueno, bye.
See you. Thank you.
Thank you, Naye. Thank you, Rafa. Thank you.
Thank
Great
you.
job.
See you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. I will share the class to you, Naye, and to Caro. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Yes, thank you.
You. Bye.